Welcome to Dr. Jester Rants, and I'm gonna rant about this from Metro. Rip to new ideas, why the world craves remakes and repetition now. From Metro. Metro used to be quite good. It's a free newspaper distributed at the, underground stations in London and elsewhere in the UK. And boy, were they good. Now they're just woke trash. Just basically like every single media out there. Anyway, they do touch a subject in here that we are kind of dealing with right now. It's basically the death of creativity, because you're not quite allowed to go into creating something new. You can't. In this current day and age, you cannot create something new, because if you do, you're going to run into problems like, here we have Film Threat, in which they deal with this and they touch the subject of writers, in which you can't have actual diversity in the writer's room anymore, and in which you need to follow what you carry between your legs, the color of your skin, and you cannot utter anything at all that goes against the narrative. If you do, you're going to basically get cancelled, and you will not be allowed anywhere else in the industry, aka you're gonna get blacklisted, like it says here. However, the story has resulted in a flood of emails sent to Film Threat. These correspondents paint a picture of an industry where fear of speaking out could result in one being blacklisted as problematic. 1. You must adhere to this new ideology or face the prospect of unemployment forever. A phrase we heard over and over again is this: male and pale is stale. And this is basically what we are seeing right now. Wish that was a crap movie from Disney, but pretty much represents what we are seeing here. It's bad. Here is another example. Writers' rooms have historically been a freewheeling place for spitballing ideas and jokes. Now folks are on eggshells for fear of offending DIE standards, which are forever shifting. The Oscars diversity standards have made a number of films ineligible to qualify for Best Pictures. Not glaring omissions this year, but a film such as Dunkirk would not be eligible as there's just too many white people in it. Basically, if you wanted to make that movie today, you would actually need to race up everybody and become an absolute shit show that does not even represent the actual battle that took place. Here is one thing that they actually addressed in the Film Threat website. Here is what they quote. I'm gonna quote it as this. My 93-year-old father-in-law asked me if biracial marriage was as popular in real life as it is on TV commercials and series. Yeah. That's one thing that I noticed quite a bit. The commercials you see, white lady, black guy, white guy, black lady, but those are relatively rare in comparison to the others. You see mostly black families and you think, well, I thought that America was, 70% white or something like that? And another thing is actual biracial couples. Biracial marriage is exceptionally rare, even in 2024, even then, or 2023, when most of these commercials that we still see today in 2024 were made. Still very, 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 very rare. For some reason, it's very common on TV, and the representation of gay people in TV, it's absurdly very high. Let's take a look at Walking Dead. Every single couple there was actually with a white and black dude. The guy here, his father-in-law, is right. The only one that actually kind of worked out was with Rick and Michonne. That one was actually top-notch. But everything else in there was just diversity for diversity purposes. What, Lydia with a goddamn fucking black guy that came out of nowhere? Jesus Christ, that one was bad. And then we have World Beyond. Overarching story, good. But by God, when did those girls become actually good at fighting in a few episodes? They could barely even push a goddamn fucking zombie away, but suddenly the black girl was able to actually kill an actual white dude who was trained in combat. Just willy-nilly, like that. Zip, zip, zip. This is why we are getting the death of entertainment. And sure, repetition and remakes, sure, it's fine up to a point. I have no problems with it, because at least we get some expanded stories that you couldn't do maybe in the main show or something. For instance, if you're The Walking Dead, addressing some other stuff going on in the world of The Walking Dead, that was fine. Or in the Star Trek, where we at the beginning of the 21st century, we had Enterprise, and the other spin-offs at the end of the 20th century, which was Deep Space Nine and Voyager. Completely fine for me. But what we have today is just garbage, complete, utter garbage. Before I continue, here's a trailer, something very nice. Right, I'm back. Yeah, baby, yeah. Right, so, back to Metro. And once again, it's fine up to a point, but it's just, what we are getting here is just not nice. We are getting remakes because they need to correct the mistakes of the past. Hell, look at this. Wait, wasn't there like Sabrina stuff with kind of like a somewhat of a remake or something in which they added a lot of diversity, people in there, it became unwatchable? Or Resident Evil? Good lord! I always bring back that TV show from Netflix. That thing was so bad, so fucking bad, that I actually was rooting for the goddamn fucking zombies, which you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to do that one. And yet here I was, rooting for it. What sort of shenanigans is that? This is not right. Hell, here it says, one very good example. With planned reboots of the US office, oh god, that one is not going to go well, and Fawlty Towers in the works. Well, this one I have a small inkling of I don't know, hope, because it's still being written by John Cleese. But I don't know. I don't have much hope with it, especially because look at this. At this news from Metro Stu is still. John Cleese hits back at simple-minded critics over Hitler joke. Your best days in comedy are obviously behind you. He's absolutely right, and I think that the jokes like the Hitler episode would never, ever, ever literally be made today. Or Manuel with the ¿qué? Jokes going on. Obviously, that would be racist or, I don't know, something else today. You just can't make those things anymore. It's how stale, how bad, how because of diversity, like Ghostbusters 2016, trying to fix the two movies by inserting diversity in it. And what we got, it was an absolute outrageously bad garbage. It's just not, they are not thinking through, mostly because of diversity, forced diversity. People are not interested in that garbage. We can see that on constantly on what? The superhero garbage, the MCU, or the another good, very good example on that one was She-Hulk. People, they thought that people wanted that garbage, diversity, forced diversity garbage. Well, that thing didn't work out, did it? They even rewrote her origin stories because obviously you couldn't have a white, straight male saving a goddamn powerful woman, could you? Girl boss, out of the way. No, you could not. Oh, anyway, on that goddamn fucking hell, have a great fucking night. And remember, fuck you, YouTube.